fast to www.pastorpaulgold.com. Hey, have you taken a good look at the banks lately? On the surface, everything seems fine, but there's a whole lot more going on underneath. It's like looking under the hood of a car and finding a mess of broken wires and parts. The parts are loans for homes, cars, and those credit cards we all use. They're hitting record highs. It's kind of scary when you think about it. Why risk your money for a tiny 5% return when things are so shaky? This is where Noble Gold Investment can come in and help. They're like that friend who knows all about keeping money safe. They suggest gold and silver, oldies but goodies in the finance world. Plus, they got a sweet deal on this right here. 1/4 of an ounce gold standard coin. They'll give this to you for this month. 1/4 of an ounce of gold. Pretty cool, right? Well, if you're curious, just give them a call at 877-646-5347. It's just a chat, no pressure, and they'll help you figure out if gold and silver is right for you. Go visit them at www.pastorpaulgold.com and take the first steps toward a safer financial future.
The names of the spacecraft intended to carry Chinese astronauts to the moon by the close of this decade have been disclosed by China's space agency. According to a recent announcement from the China Manned Space Agency, progress is on track for the development of the Mingzhou spacecraft, also known as the Dream Vessel, along with the Lanyu lunar lander, or embracing the moon, and a powerful carrier rocket named Long March 10. These components form a crucial part of an ambitious program by Beijing to establish itself as a leading space power. While the specific date for the manned lunar mission has not been disclosed, China has stated its intention to achieve this milestone by 2030, aiming to become the second nation to successfully land astronauts on the moon. The Mingzhou spacecraft consists of a re-entry model designed to house astronauts and function as the control center, coupled with a service module responsible for power and propulsion systems. As reported by state media, the vehicle is expected to be nearly 9 meters in length and weigh 22 metric tons, CNN reported. The Lanyu lunar lander is designed to accommodate 2 astronauts and a 200-kilogram rover, further contributing to China's ambitious lunar exploration objectives. Just over a year ago, Flaco, the Eurasian eagle owl, captured the hearts of New Yorkers when he escaped from a Central Park zoo enclosure that had been vandalized. Flaco, affectionately dubbed, quote, one of New York's flyest by Mayor Eric Adams, passed away on Friday after colliding with a building in Manhattan, as announced by the Wildlife Conservation Society. Following Flaco's escape in February of 2023, multiple attempts were made by authorities to recapture him, all of them unsuccessful. Flaco became a notable attraction in Central Park, with birders and enthusiasts regularly sharing updates about his location and eating habits. Despite prompt response from members of the Wild Bird Fund to the collision scene on Friday, the bird was declared dead. This is according to the Wildlife Conservation Society. The Wild Bird Fund notified zoo staff, who retrieved the bird and transported it to the Bronx Zoo, CNN reported. The Central Park Zoo had revealed on February the 2nd of 2023 that Flaco had escaped from his enclosure due to vandalism that cut its stainless steel mesh. Since then, Flaco had been frequently spotted in and around Central Park in various Manhattan locations, with society staff monitoring him throughout the year. They were prepared to intervene if he exhibited any signs of difficulty or distress, as stated by the Wildlife Conservation Society. On Sunday, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky revealed that 31,000 Ukrainian soldiers had lost their lives in the full-scale Russian invasion over the past 2 years, marking the first official figure released in over a year. Speaking at a press conference in Kyiv, Zelensky refrained from disclosing the number of wounded, citing concerns about aiding Russian military planning. Zelensky emphasized, quote, 31,000 Ukrainian troops have been casualties in this conflict. It is not 300,000, not 150,000. Putin is spreading falsehoods. Nonetheless, this represents a significant loss for us, Zelensky said. Since the close of 2022, Ukraine had not provided a specific count of military losses. In late 2022, presidential aide Mikhailo Podolyak stated that 13,000 Ukrainian soldiers had been killed since the invasion on February 24th, Reuters reported. The topic of battlefield casualties remains delicate in Ukraine, as the nation seeks to reform its approach to mobilizing civilians for the army to rebuild its forces following last year's unsuccessful counteroffensive against Russian forces. In August, a New York Times report, citing United States officials, suggested a Ukrainian death toll approaching 70,000, while also noting potential Russian losses of up to 120,000 during the conflict. President Zelensky informed reporters that 180,000 Russians had lost their lives in the ongoing conflict. Russia, in contrast, does not disclose its military losses, considering such information classified. Both sides consistently characterize the other's military losses as substantial.